Hello and welcome back. If you're new to this channel, my name's Logan. I am a spiritual mentor and healer. I use spiritual tools such as astrology, tarot, and Reiki. My mission is to assist others through the journey of self-love, self-discovery, and authenticity. So if you're interested in an astrology reading or a tarot reading or spiritual mentorship, feel free to check out my Instagram at AuthenticallyLogan. So today's episode is all about the upcoming full moon that we have coming Saturday, September 10th. The full moon will actually be in Pisces. Pisces is ruled by dreamy Neptune. So I am biased. When the moon is in Pisces, I feel extra at home, and that is because I myself have a Pisces moon. So I feel very aligned with myself and very in tune with what's going on in the world. But on the other end of that, a lot of the collective might be feeling a little bit of heaviness, a little bit of deceptive energy, or you could be feeling really intuitive or really creative or inspired. It kind of depends on what your chart is like, but for the most part, this is going to be a really positive energy. A lot of beautiful things are coming to fruition during this time. Just keep in mind for anything that might seem too good to be true, when the moon is in Pisces, that could be the case. It's not saying that that is the case. I'm just saying to be mindful, to trust yourself. This is a really great time to look within and to trust yourself. When I think of Pisces, I think of the High Priestess card in tarot. It's really trusting yourself and really trusting your inner knowing. And pay attention to what your gut tells you during this time. Pisces is known and notorious for wearing rose-colored glasses, so seeing things as they could be versus as they are. So just make sure that you're mindful. There's also a couple of retrogrades. There's always something crazy going on. But overall, this is going to be a really positive energy. Full moons are a really great time for letting go and releasing, so that way you can get ready to make space to manifest and set intentions for the next upcoming moon, which will be in Libra. But you want to use this Pisces energy to also to create, to self-reflect, to look within, do something that you're surrounded in water, take a goddess bath, take a bath with salts, and really love yourself, really pour into yourself during this time. Really take some time to self-reflect. If there's any areas that you're in your life that you're wanting to improve, this is a really powerful time. Keep in mind that Pisces rules the 12th house. The 12th house also has to do with mysticism, spirituality, but it also has to do with escapism. So be mindful of ways that you might not be feeling into your emotions and that you might be trying to run away. That's very common for Pisces placements, to want to escape and to not want to face what's happening head on, because you can't run away from reality. You can try, but things don't go away until they're faced. The only way out is through. So keep in mind of any escapism or, excessive drinking, drugs, relying too much on spirituality even can be a form of escapism. And it's something that I myself also have to work on quite frequently. So this is going to be a positive energy, but be sure to feel whatever needs to be felt. The longer you hold on, the longer those emotions will stay. So if you feel the need to cry or release during this time, by all means, honor yourself. Give yourself space to feel, to cry, to express. And then, of course, go let some light in. This is a beautiful energy, but it can also be heavy. With the release also comes a rebirth. So just something to think about during this time. It's probably already happening now, you might notice, but this should carry on also a couple days after. So I'm going to pull a couple cards to see if there's anything specific that we need to know as a collective for this upcoming full moon. So I've already shuffled the cards, I've already prayed on the cards, so let's see what Spirit has for us for this upcoming full moon in Pisces. Got two, but let's get a couple more to get going. What do we need to know? about the full moon in Pisces. All right, let's start here. So we got the element of spirit. And so this is all about divine timing. If there's something that you've been waiting on, or something that you've been building or creating, and it might feel like it's going a little bit slow, this is telling you to trust the process. This is telling you to trust that you are on the right path, because you are. If you're not, you will be redirected. You always are. Spirit never lets you down the wrong path for long. God, spirit, source, whatever you want to call it, higher power, never lets you go down the wrong path for long. You have to learn. So sometimes you might find yourself going down a path that's not in alignment, but you will see the signs, you will see the clues. You will be shown one way or another whether or not you're on the right path. Now, we have the freedom of choice, but just be on the lookout and trust divine timing. But of course, most of all, trust in yourself, because Spirit is always trying to communicate with us through our body, through our mind. Pay attention to what comes up during this time. And then we have the wolf, which is all about, well, it's a white wolf, so it's all about trusting your inner knowing, being confident, and trusting that you are guided. You are divinely guided. You are divinely protected. This is telling you to believe in your power. This is really, really, really important to look within and to trust what comes through. Keep in mind, we have different aspects of ourselves. We have our shadow aspects, our inner child, our higher self. We have our ego. So when you're trying to look within, you'll know the difference between your shadow. Your shadow is the part of yourself that's telling you that you're not good enough, you're too much. That's the part of yourself that, that might make you feel jealous, insecure, or needy. Then you have your inner child, and a lot of times your inner child is the part of yourself that wants to feel seen, that feels sad because it feels like it's not enough, or it feels, neglected or abandoned. We have our higher self. Our higher self is the all-knowing. It's the good. It's the part of ourselves that comes up when we are in our power. And then we have our ego, which is the part of ourselves that we want to use to protect the rest of our parts. So when you're looking within, trust the voice of your higher self. Get really grounded. Really, really pray for intentional advice and trust. And you'll know, because it won't be a hateful, evil voice telling you that you're not good enough. It'll be a loving, generous voice that is communicating with your higher self. So pay attention to the difference when you're looking within, because you might notice that all of those aspects come up. And that's okay if that's the case. But you'll know that your higher self is the one that supports you, that lifts you up, the one that knows and that trusts that good is coming. Your shadow might come in to join, to be like, hey, that's not true. You didn't do this and this and this. You're not good enough. All you need to do during that time is to love those parts and simply speak to those parts of yourself and say, you know what, I love you and I appreciate your existence, but you're not needed during this time. I love you, I see you, but it's okay. You are safe and you are good enough, and that we don't need to keep reliving those stories. And then you'll find that that voice will start to go away. It just needs a little bit of love. So when you're looking within, listen for that higher self. Listen for that powerful, influencing part of yourself that you know, the part of yourself that gave you that job that you applied for, the part of yourself that attracted the partner of your dreams, the part of yourself that shows up in the best way possible, the part of yourself that stays a little bit longer at the workout because they know they deserve it. So listen to that voice. If you're getting confused on which voice to depend on, Spirit is communicating with you at all times, and you'll trust it. You'll know. We got the Hierophant. And so this is really, really telling you to ground in your physical body. Pisces can be a very emotional time, especially for, I would say, fire and air placements especially, but also it depends on your chart in general. But Pisces can be very emotional. So If you feel emotional, that's okay, but this is a really great time to get grounding. The opposite of water is earth, so taking the time to stick your bare feet in the grass or the ground, to do some breath work, to really, really focus on getting your mind clear and getting your physical being in the place of operating from your higher self. And the best way to tap into that higher self is to come from a place of groundedness. So let's see what else we've got. What else do we need to know? The dolphins. So this is also a really great time to enjoy yourself, to communicate and have fun. And you might also notice that you're really in tune with your emotions during this time. Maybe you're around other people and it's almost as if you can feel, whether it be their pain, their happiness. You might even find you go into a grocery store or some public place and you see this person and you can feel them, like you feel where they're coming from. You can feel their energy. So be mindful of that. Pisces is very intuitive. It's also sometimes a sponge. It's the fish. It's the water sign. It's very intuitive. It can really. When you're talking about moons especially, it can pick up on energy from miles away. So be aware of that. Pay attention to who you're around. Enjoy yourself, have fun, but also figure out and determine what energy is yours and what is someone else's, because there is a chance you could be picking up on someone else's energy. And if so, that's okay. But sometimes that can feel really heavy, and sometimes it's as simple as going to a grocery store or, being around somebody. So we got a couple cards that fell. Let's see. So just be mindful of what's real and what's coming from someone else. This is also a really great time to release and to let go of your baggage, to let go of burdens, guilts, to let go of ways of shame and regret, being mean to yourself. This is a really great time to recreate a better relationship with yourself and with others. With all the retrogrades coming on, it's really important to get really clear and to get all your facts straight. Before signing contracts, double check everything. Really get clear and really get aligned on what you're doing when it comes to making really big decisions. So double check all the things. Double check any contracts, written documents. If you have essays or work that you need to turn in, whether it's schoolwork or whatever it looks like for you, just double check everything. Even if you double checked it, double check again. It's better to be safe than sorry during this time. With the influence of Neptune, it can be deceptive, and then we have these retrogrades. There's a lot of confusion, and with that confusion, it can kind of bring us to a state of panic at times. You might, also keep in mind Mars is in Gemini. It's very back and forth. The duality is there. So just really double check everything. Stay calm. Before reacting, just sit, ground yourself, and really think it through. And double check again. There's a lot going on. It can be confusing. Deceptive Pisces, energy on top of all of this can be kind of messy. It's not a bad thing, but it is important to double check everything and to be mindful of energy, who you're around, who you're trusting. Just be mindful. because sometimes things might seem too good to be true, often are. It's not to say that that's the case for everything, but just be mindful. You can't go wrong. So we got the ladybug. So this is a really good thing. This is, I don't know, maybe you're having some good news coming in. Maybe you're having, a revelation around your health. This also could signify giving birth. Maybe you're having a child. Maybe you're, finally launching this career, this product or project you've been working on. This is really everything that you've been wanting coming into balance. And it's confirmed by the stars, because this is all about wishes coming true, abundance, and falling in love. So let's see if we can I'm going to pull from the other deck. Let's see how Spirit is helping us. If there's any other things that we need to know during this time. Okay, so Spirit is wanting us to really take time to, first off, do a ritual, do a self-care ritual. This is the Eight of Pentacles. It's all about abundance, but it looks like there's some work to be done. It looks like we have some work to be done around releasing and letting go, so that way we can be in a place of receptivity. So this is a really great signifier to, look, there's the moons. We got all the moon cycles. She's doing a ritual. She's really tapping into that abundance. But she's having to let go of a lot of things so that way she can be in a place to receive. If you're holding on, if you're creating these blocks for yourself that you might not even know, you might have trouble actually receiving what wants to come in for you. So then we have the Queen of Wands. And this is the part where you're receiving. This is the part where everything that you've been thinking about, journaling about, dreaming about, taking action about is coming to fruition. So this is a card of receiving, but you gotta let go to receive. So these two work together, but the universe wants to give you what you want, but we have to get out of our own way. We're all guilty of this. But get out of your own way and be open to receive, because the universe is here to deliver. So I'm going to pull one more just because I feel like I need to. We're going to go back to the old deck. So any last piece of advice for us, Spirit? Oh. Firefly. So this is also a really great time for love. This is a great time for also self-love, self-discovery. There's a lot of magic in the air right now. This is a very magical energy. Speaking from my experience, my best friend is actually getting married on Friday. So it's the day before the Pisces new moon. So there's a lot of love in the air. This is also a really great time to tap into your creativity. You might feel really, really inspired all of a sudden. So yeah, this is a really great time to be open to romance too, to see where, see where something goes. If you've been, single for a while and you've been interested, this is a really great time to consider opening back your heart. And sometimes that does involve letting go. So once again, is releasing and letting go to be open to receive. So the one piece of advice, if you don't do anything at all, is to take time, ground yourself, do a meditation, look within, and then just embrace the beauty of the world. Feel yourself. Allow yourself to feel the emotions, whatever they are. That's part of our human experience. Believe it or not, that's why we're here, is to really feel the duality, to feel the good, to feel the bad, And whatever that story looks like for you, embrace it, because the opposite end will come. Good will come no matter what your situation is. And the sooner you let go and you feel into what your emotions are trying to tell you, the sooner you will move through it and the sooner you will move on to the next level. So yeah, this is going to be a really powerful, magical time. And whatever it brings for you, just trust that it's bringing you exactly what you need, no matter what that looks like. Everything is happening for your highest good, even if it's not pretty. Trust the process, trust in divine timing. Happy full moon.